Well, it's not 5:45 p.m., but it is election night here at BCTV. It's Super Tuesday here as we are counting down 7 to 7:30. We're going to try and get some election results as folks get ready up at the polls tonight. We've also got James Valente and Dart Everett in to discuss this recent election, look at it from both sides of the aisle, and hopefully we'll go live to Kipling's Barn downtown where there'll be either merriment or folks crying into their beers or both. As the evening progresses, we'll get a look at folks getting started down there. We're going to do all that in just a moment, and hopefully we'll even have some time to look at a few clips from this wild, wild election season, which includes a bevy of programming on BCTV. I'll look at some of the forums that have happened here. We're going to start with Leland and Gray, where students put on their own forum with a variety of candidates from different parties and different races to hold an open forum and have folks answer questions from the students. Let's start there.
All right. Okay, let's begin. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Leland and Gray's Political Forum. Please, when you ask a question, please make sure it's relevant to that topic. No unnecessary questions like what's your favorite color and if you're married or so on and so forth.
The growth and future of Vermont is not a partisan issue. It's an issue of how we do the best by our people.
This is the symbol of Liberty Union. The turtle that probably won't get elected, but is there with his unicorn horn, is prodding Elephant.
Both parties have come up with some pretty ludicrous stuff. But I do want to say you should be quite pleased. The legislature in the state of Vermont does all that it can to represent all the people of the state of Vermont, regardless of party.
Welcome back to our election night coverage here. In a moment, we'll go live to the high school. In a moment, here's a sample of what it'll look like. I believe that's one Daryl Pillsbury behind us. But let's bring up another split screen and talk to our in-studio guests, James Valente, Dart Everett. They join us from Studio B tonight to help break down what I find maybe even a little bit of a confusing election season with the whirlwind of advertisements that we've all been privy to now here. And so as Daryl prepares for a live drop test from the desk, we're going to head on over and get ready for the election. Dart, I want to start with you here. And when we were getting ready to line up this in-studio interview, looking for somebody who, a longtime Republican here in Brattleboro, who's been active in the community, one thing I heard a lot was, oh, Republican in Vermont, that's not easy to do. Let's start there. In a state that goes blue every year for at least on the national level for the presidential elections, there's a history of kind of mixing and matching and going back and forth on the local level. But what is that like to kind of continue to get your beliefs out there in a state that often has a color that might not be the color you'd be looking for?
I hope that sometime people will see the light.
It's a good place to start. I want to talk a little bit to James in a second about some of the things that he's been producing here at BCTV, getting interviews. But Dart, standout things from this campaign. We hear a lot about the money that's being spent, the advertisements, things like that. Break it down for us.
Huge money. I mean, I looked up some stuff today, and it's just amazing. Bernie Sanders, for this election cycle, raised $7 million against an opponent who raised $76,000.
Wow.
Pat Leahy, in the last time, raised almost $5 million against an opponent who raised $232. So, you know, it's rather one-sided. I said to somebody recently who is in the news business, how come you didn't, you always rail against campaign spending, how come you didn't say anything when Pat Leahy raised $5 million and against an unknown? And they said, because we like Pat Leahy. So I'm not sure that speaks well of the media.
James, standouts for you as this campaign has progressed. You were in our BCTV studios to interview candidates in a variety of different races. Talk a little bit, we focus a lot, I think, folks, on the presidential election, the national elections, but there's a lot of reasons to go to the polls on the local level and the statewide level. Talk a little bit about your involvement in those races.
Well, I was here to interview both Beth Pierce and T.J. Donovan during the primary for the Attorney General's race. And truth be told, my involvement with those campaigns was not very significant beyond doing a couple of things like that when they came down to Brattleboro. But to get into the other part of your point about the lower ticket races, as was alluded by Dart, there's such great disparity in many of the races in Vermont. The presidential race is over before it's begun. Both Senate seats and the House seat are really over. And I don't know what's going to happen in a lot of them tonight. I don't know if you do, Dart. But.
Can't even guess. I hope at least one Republican statewide wins. So it'd be nice to still have somebody in there.
Keep the balance. All right, we're going to take a quick break, look at some more footage that has happened here, including this mock election from BUHS.
A lot of the students here don't get to actually vote, and it's a good way to get it so we have our opinion and we can see what this, if our school was in charge, then what would happen.
I think it's really important to get kids active in politics, even if technically this vote doesn't matter.
Who did you vote for?
I voted for Obama.
Democracy only works when you get involved. And I want you all to give yourselves a hand for being the best example of how to get out there and make a difference. It is not big money in Vermont, and I want to tell you as a governor, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
So we're here in the BUHS gymnasium, and I know who I'm standing with right now anyway, thank goodness.
And hopefully I can remember what to say.
I am with Senator Jeanette White here live at the BUHS gymnasium. The polls are closed, and here we go, well, after being outside for a while.
It was cold out there.
So, like we were just saying earlier that nobody probably got to hear, this is your 6th term if you are elected.
If I am re-elected, it will be my 6th term.
And what do you plan on doing when you get back there? Now that you have a lot under your belt, you will be able to probably go back and be chair, hopefully, of the GovOps.
I hope. I love that committee.
I know you do.
I love it.
And then what would be your first thing on your, like, what's one of the things you want to accomplish?
Okay. Well, we're going to take on vital statistics this year because we didn't do it last year. The vital records, birth certificates. We're going to do campaign finance. Your favorite topic? I'll ask you about it. We're going to do. We're going to look at all of the elections issues, because what happens is that we pass, 2 changes to the election laws, and then the next year we pass 2 more, and it drives the town clerks crazy. So this year, what I want to do is look at all of them, all of the election laws as a whole, and see if they make sense with each other and see where changes need to be made. So we're going to do that. Public records, we're looking at the exemptions to public records. I'm going to do my student free speech again, which I've done before. But this year I have kids at almost all of the high schools in Vermont who are helping me with it, and their teachers.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I went up to the Governor's Institute over the summer and talked to them about issues, and they got really excited, and so we've been exchanging emails back and forth.
Well, then you're going to be pretty busy. Now, let's just assume that you did win.
Okay.
Tell everybody, hey, thanks for your vote.
Thank you for your vote. Yes, and even if I didn't win, thank you for those who voted for me.
That's right, and for all the support over the last
10 years. Yes, it's been great.
It goes by fast, though.
It does go by fast, and people are so, this is the best constituency in Vermont, because people are willing to share their ideas with you and willing to be understanding. But then be understanding when things don't go exactly the way they want it to. So, best constituency
I'm going to agree with you right
Vermont.
now for that one, but after that, I'm on my way. Damn it.
I know.
All right, thanks
and I won't
enough
cross
Senator.
you again.
Thank you, Senator. Molly, I'm going to save the rookie for, although she's no longer a rookie. That's right. We're going to go right down. And now we have from District 2, our Representative Molly Burke. And Molly,
still all bundled up because it was cold out there. I'm just relishing.
It's cold. I mean, it's still holding in the cold weather. So listen, this is your? You've been there 6 years now, right?
Well, I've been there 4.
You've been there 4 years.
This is my third election.
Wow. Boy, it does go by.
As the time goes by, yeah.
So your transportation committee, are you hoping to get back on that one again?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
And you've done an awful lot of good work.
Well, I really feel like we have an opportunity in the state to think about how we do our transportation. We have got to diversify our transportation system. We have got to cut our greenhouse gas emissions. We've had a love affair with our automobiles. We've got to think about how we can get ourselves around. There are ways. Cities in Europe have figured it out. We live in a rural state, it's distributed settlement patterns, but we have to improve our public transit system and other, car sharing, other ways to get around. We just can't. We can't all be driving our own individual cars everywhere.
I know we like the convenience.
And I'm, it's something, I value too. We value our independence and going where we want to go when we do. But anyway, I just think that we need to have an affordable transportation system too. There are a lot of people who cannot afford to own vehicles and elderly people who cannot drive. And so one of my strong interests is in making it possible for everybody to have access to a good transportation system.
Well, very good, and thank you for serving the people of Vermont. Thank you for serving Brattleboro. This is your District 2 rep, and what else would you like to say?
I'm very honored to be serving the people of Vermont, and I'm honored to be following you, Daryl.
Thank you. You say that every time you can stop.
No, it's true. No, it's true. It's true. And you have a great connection to the community, and that's very important.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
And we look forward to another 2 years.
Okay.
It's Jeff Mastrioni is live from Kipling's Bar downtown, where they've got all the networks live on their various flat screens. Folks gather to watch what'll happen as we go in through the night.
Well, it's pretty quiet here at the moment. There are a few people gathered here around watching the TV. I think that most of the folks here aren't terribly concerned with the local elections as much as they are thinking about what's going to happen with the national election. And I'm pretty sure folks here are swinging for Obama. He's going to take Vermont, and we're hoping that this will be a drama-free election. Let me do a quick pan around so you can see the folks here. Everybody can say hello. All right, there they are.
Drama-free election. We'll see. Hopefully nobody will bend a chair over somebody else across the party lines. All right, Jeff, thanks for beaming in here. If you see somebody, if we see somebody in the screen here hitting somebody else with a chair, we'll beam back to you in just a moment. So thanks for checking in.
All right. I'll be standing by.
Sounds good. Jeff Mastrioni live downtown, and as we get ready for our live broadcast of election results, we're going to now talk again for a moment with our in-studio guests, James Valente and Dart Everett, about the latest information coming out. But first, let's take a look. Among the many, many candidates that came through BCTV this election season were both Vince Aluzzi and Doug Hoffer, Republican and Democratic candidates, respectively, for the state auditor seat. Let's take a look.
I've been in the Senate for 32 years, so no one can suggest that I use positions as stepping stones. I've enjoyed the Senate, but after almost a third of a century, I just thought it would be time to give others an opportunity and to put my experience and talents to use from a different perspective. So I don't have any goal other than to be elected and do the job.
Public sector auditors should do more than just crunch the numbers and to track the money. Taxpayers have a right to know and need to know whether, in fact, the programs created by the legislature are achieving the goals intended by the legislature.
All right, we're back here in BCTV's downtown studios, getting ready to take a look at some of the many happenings here in Brattleboro as election season gets underway. And we're going to take a moment to go back to the gymnasium where Daryl Pillsbury is standing by with Senator Peter Galbraith. And then from there, hopefully we'll get our election results as the time ticks down here. So let's take it back to Daryl.
The majority of states, with the states with the majority of the electoral votes, enter into a pact and agree that regardless of how their state votes, they will cast all their electoral votes to the winner of the popular vote. Then we can change the system without a constitutional amendment, which is, as a practical matter, impossible to achieve because of the complexity of the system. No, this is an 18th century idea that has long outlived its usefulness, and it's not good for our country or for our standing in the world when the guy who loses the popular vote, in fact, becomes president.
Well, thank you.
Hey,
and,
give us your exit polling numbers again. When we're down, we're live again.
Okay, give us the extra polls. We have. Oh, can you pull them back up?
I need to put on my glasses.
Okay.
You want to?
We're gonna try and pull up some new latest exit polls for all of our viewers here. We had the latest. I can tell you this: Ohio was in favor of Obama, which was good. Virginia, I think we said, was tied. I don't know. He's got them. Here they are.
Here we are, Darrell. And again, these are exit polls as of 5 p.m. So, obviously the situation could change. But Virginia was tied. Romney was ahead by a single point in North Carolina, which is good news for Obama because that state was expected to go for Romney. Ohio up 4. Very good news. Florida, Romney's up 1. New Hampshire, Obama's up 3. Pennsylvania, Obama up 4. Colorado tied. Minnesota, Obama up 4. Wisconsin, Obama up 4. Iowa, Obama up 3. Nevada, Obama up 5. So if those states actually hold according to those exit polls, then Obama will be the next president of the United States. Incidentally, on the Senate elections, Donnelly, the Democrat and very Republican Indiana, is up 1. His opponent, Murdoch, the state treasurer, is the one who said that if a woman becomes pregnant as a result of a rape, it's God's will. Kane, the Democratic governor of Virginia, is up. Okay.
Yep, we have some results, and I'm going to give them to you straight down the list, just the way the ballot was. So for President, Vice President, Anderson Rodriguez, the total was 26. Johnson Gray, 46. Lindsay Osorio, 22. Obama Biden, 4621. Romney Ryan, 915. Peter Diamondstone, okay, we're into Senator. Peter Diamondstone, 173. Chris Erickson, 105. Laurel Laframboise, 11. John McGovern, 692. Peter Moss, 54. Bernie Sanders, 4554. For Representative, we have James DeRozier, 112. Mark Donka, 688. Andre Laframboise, 12. Jane Newton, 137. Peter Welch, 4533. Governor, Randy Brott, 965. Dave Eagle, 104. Chris Erickson, 117. Emily Payton, 157. Peter Shumlin, 4238. Lieutenant Governor Cassandra Geekus, 3569. Ben Mitchell, 308. Phil Scott, 1396. And State Treasurer Jessica Diamondstone, 505. Beth Pierce, 3394. Don Schramm, 271. Wendy Wilton, 1098. And Secretary of State Jim Condos, 3795. Mary Alice Hebert, 1125. Auditor Doug Hoffer, 3106. Vince Aluzzi, 1379. Jerry Levy, 670. Attorney General Rosemarie Jackowitz, 242. Jack McMullen, 925. William Sorrell, 3809. Ed Stanek, 307. State Senator Aaron Diamondstone, 600. Peter Galbraith, 3458. Jeanette White, 3990. Valerie Stewart, 16. Okay, we're in State Reps, District 1. Valerie Stewart, 1692. Molly Burke, 1561. Ian Diamondstone, 171. And Tristan Tolino, 1390. High Bailiff Bob Backus, 4575. Do you want all the justice of the peace too? Okay, so that's what we've got. I have sheets if anybody wants copies of them. Do you want to hand a few of them out?
There you go, Tim.
Do you want to hand a few of them out?
I'm getting some sheets here as well.
Okay, so we also had a 65% voter turnout, which was approximately 5,650 voters. They are calling Shumlin the winner for the state of Vermont, and governor, and Welch the winner for state rep. And we are going to do a interview here with Tristan Tolino here in a minute, as he will be the new state representative for Brattleboro's District 3. So we'll wait for a second there. So anyway, if you went out and vote, folks, thank you very much for doing that. In this country, it isn't that hard to do, and I'm certainly glad that those of you who decided to do it, did it. Like the bumper sticker says, your voice is your vote, so use that vote. Speak.
And we'll leave it there. Daryl Pillsbury, Joe Bushy, live at the high school to get Town Clerk Annette Cappy live over our drop system from BUHS to get those election results. We're going to take a quick break here before we cut to Burlington Channel 17's live election coverage. In the meantime, be sure to stick with us right here. We're going to get you all the way through until we have the final election results coming from up north in Burlington. We'll be back, and we'll leave you with a look at some behind the scenes here as we get some a look at why some third-party candidates might not have had the same attention as folks, Democratic and Republican. Gubernatorial hopeful Emily Payton took to using tactics from Candid Camera to catch a glimpse of why some media outlets were including only the two major candidates in their debates. We'll leave it there for tonight on kind of a fun little note, but as I mentioned, stick around because we'll be sure to get you all that Channel 17 footage. My guests tonight were James Valente and Dart Everett. Thank you so much for joining us here in our downtown studios. We sure appreciate you shedding a little local light on the scene here. I'm Roland Boyden. Thanks for watching our BCTV election night coverage. We'll hopefully get you plenty more footage on Friday as we break down the behind the scenes. As we saw, Daryl mentioned he'll have plenty more interviews that he and Joe will tape. Those will go up on our video on demand, as will this program. In the meantime, I'm Roland Boyden. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
What about equal time? There is an FCC rule about that.
We have two candidates, and those are the rules.